Good evening, and welcome to the Small Initiative Network. You're watching the Fables of Gahlia, the correct way to start your weekend. I am a little bit pumped for tonight, which is good because I've been stressed the fuck out all day. We have some announcements to get through before we jump into the game. Why don't you take us away, Stax?
Sure. Our first sponsor of the night is Norse Foundry. Straight from the halls of Valhalla comes our first sponsor. They make artisan dice and gaming accessories for all your TTRPG needs. We have a lot of dice goblins out there, and we need to get our fix. Crafted from the finest metals and gemstones by the dwarves themselves. With Norse Foundry, even your nat ones will be beautiful. Check out the link in the chat, and if you would like, use our special promo code SWOLE, SWOLE, to get 10% off today.
Awesome. Betty.
You should also check out our friends over at Nine Realms Gaming, where they hand make their products from natural woods to create quality and affordable gaming accessories for everyone. You can use the code SWOLE10 and you can get 10% off your next purchase at ninerealmsgaming.com, where you can roll your Norse Foundry dice. It's a 20.
Nat 20?
It's a 20. I'm not moving. I'm taking a picture. It's going in the Discord. Speaking
Get
of
them
Discord,
out the way. Yeah,
you
get them out the
guys
way
should
now.
definitely join our Discord so you can go see it.
We have one of those.
We do have one of those. I don't know if that worked. My phone did something weird. Okay. I got it. I'm going to send it to the Discord. Anyways, Swole10 for ninerealmsgaming.com. I didn't mean to steal the thunder.
No worries. Brent, what you got for us?
Alrighty, let's give a shout out and special thank you to our next sponsor of the evening, Griffin Co. Everything that you see that is 3D printed on our shows is from Griffin Co. And if you want to get in on this action, you too can go to griffinco.com and use the promo code SWOLE22 at checkout, and you will receive 22% off of your order. That's huge, guys. Huge. All right. Huge.
Hey, you beautiful nerds! It's my turn to tell you something cool, and that is this. Hey, roll for initiative before jumping into the mosh pit with Dyson Devil Horns. Visit DysonDevilHorns.com for heavy metal tabletop gaming merch, mugs, and more. Use code SWOLE at checkout for 10% off your order, and be sure to follow on Instagram for those sweet, sweet memes. And they actually post a lot of like cool D&D little like tips and stuff too. Like, it's a good account. It's a good account. That is Dice, the letter N, devilhorns.com. Interact before you roll.
Wow. Nice. That was like a special edition version. Great. Other things that we have going on. Spelljammer is closing in, guys. I'll leave that right there. Other things. Lots of things happening. Which is all thanks to the donations from you guys. Thank you so much. The fact that we're able to create new shows with artwork and things that you want to look at with your own eyes. It's been amazing, the support, and so thank you. And if you wish to continue to do so, you can by subscribing to this channel, either with monies from your wallets, or you can use your Prime subscription to subscribe to one channel every month. And if you choose us out of all the millions and billions of channels out there, then A, thank you, and B, you do have to refresh that every month. But you know, why spend your own money when you can make Bezos pay for it? Hashtag make Bezos pay for it. So there, we have giveaways to say thank you for all of the support. We are currently 27 away from our stretch goal, which is, you know, we're what, a little over halfway through the month. So
That makes sense.
amazing. Thank you. And that is for the Opalite dice from Norse Foundry, which are friggin' beautiful. Yes. Oh, there you go. There they are. They sparkle like opal when you roll them, and they look amazing. So stretching is for idiots.
No.
Stretch goals, but stretch goals. Those are the ones. Yeah, so when we reach 150 subs for the month, we will release the giveaway. You do have to be here, and you do have to be in the US in order to win. If we call your name, and this is a subscriber only giveaway, so you do have to have a sub. Although I'm sure Sir Tim is taking care of that over the past couple of weeks. So anyone who is a subscriber can jump into that once we reach it, whether it's tonight or Legends or another show. Yes, things that you can do at home. You can enter !roll once you have a subscription, and you can roll a d20 along with the players or the DM and see what you get. I don't know what your modifiers are. You make them up. It's yeah, the game where it doesn't matter. Also flex points. That's one of the last things on my list. Flex points. You can contribute channel points, which are free just for watching us or for joining in raids at the end. Once 10 people have contributed their vote onto one player, they get a flexing arm, which actually brought us to the point that we're picking up in this episode, where the player is able to narratively flex their ability and really reach in and change the narrative in a really poignant way. So it makes for some really cool moments. The best way to do it is to team up with everyone in the chat, decide who needs it or who you just want to give it to, and then everyone spam that same person. That's the easiest way to get it blown up in that time. I don't know if I have anything else. I said a lot. Hey, thank you for being here, guys. I love this community. We were just talking about how awesome everything is. So thank you so much for making this super easy to do every week. I think it's time. I think we should just roll that trailer. What you say?
Let's do it.
All right. The next chapter of Fables. Welcome back. So, last week on Fables of Gahlia, many things. You guys had met with Herb and headed into Midas Touch Enchantments, the hidden enchantment store run by Midas himself. You guys kind of almost ended up in a little bit of an altercation with him over trying to withhold some information, kind of pivotal, because you guys were skirting the line between who you trusted information that you were asked not to share, having made friends on both sides of the gate, physically and metaphorically. So, after that, you picked up your quill, Adeline, which can telepathically scribe and move through the air. And Lily had commissioned Mr. Midas once more in order to make some clingy shoes that not only cling to walls but also ceilings. After that, you guys moved on, and tried to find your missing compatriot lost. Your lost friend lost. And so, upon wandering a little further into town, around the first circle, you were met with a crowd of people gathering and starting to fight. And you saw in the center of the circle was one very drunk lost, stumbling around the makeshift fighting arena, taking on two other thuggish individuals who he was choosing to let attack him, while they proceeded to then start to fight dirty. You guys watched and helped a little from the shadows, but eventually the very drunk lost was kicked into an unconscious state. Upon rescuing him and taking him back to the wolf's den, you put him down to sleep a little bit of it off, while you went down for fish and horseradish, which is canon now. Breaking away a little early, Adeline headed up to her room to do some research. And as she scribed into the book in order to convene with the being that she has been speaking to in her dreams and in her head, she decided to flex her abilities a little bit and cast detect thoughts on the book as she planted both of her hands on the pages and concentrated, closing her eyes as inky black tendrils made their way out of the pages, wrapping their way around her fingers and wrists and up her arms, and concentrating so hard on trying to push her will through this being. She doesn't notice the tentacles making the way up her arms and then dipping into her skin like water as it ripples, as they just drip inside her. And her head kicks back and is filled with the astral sea as she opens them, this cascading, milky smoke of stars and cosmos moving around in her eyes. That is where we're going to pick up. So, Adeline.
Yeah.
As you push forward, what goes through your mind? What are you focusing on? What are you thinking right now?
I think Adeline is very curious by nature, and as such, she is fascinated by unanswered questions. I think the biggest one currently for her is, what is this entity? What does it want? Why has it granted me this power? Like, why has it chosen me in this way? And I think that's all kind of like rushing into her head, and that is definitely the motivation behind her actions. So I think that would be kind of at the forefront of her mind.
Okay, so that's the thought at the front of your mind as you put forth your intentions, trying to push in between the lines of this other mind that you are conversing with. With the flex, he automatically fails. And you push through, and you feel it almost like an elastic, like the skin of a balloon that's kind of pushed to its limit, and you're pushing against it, and you feel it stretching more and more and more, and then release. Or so you think. As you feel yourself gliding and open your eyes, and you're gliding through the astral sea once more. You hear in your mind,
"Child, ask, and you shall receive."
And you are pushed through into a vision. Your eyes blink, and you look down at these slick, gray hands with claws at the end. You look down, turn over your palms, and see that you're not in your body anymore. As your eyes blink and look around, you are somewhere that you have never seen. You look around, and there are it is a smooth gray surface that is the floor, and it seems to just warp up into the walls. So, like, everything is so smooth, it's alien. And you look down at your robes that are cascading across. You can't see the rest of your body beneath them, but you look up and it flicks. And you open your eyes once more. And you are pleading in front of a bright light with several beings in front of you. Beings that look a lot like the silhouette of the shapes that you've seen in visions previous. And you look and you see them, and they're there in front of you, above you, looking down on you. And you are pleading with them. It happens telepathically. You don't say anything. But you plead. And you're pleading comes from a place of good intentions. As you appeal to these beings and you start to realize that this is... they're judging you. You look around and there are more lights all focused down on you, creating silhouettes of other beings in stands around you. This is almost like a coliseum, a little smaller than that, but you are very much put on the spot at the foot of these beings in front of you. And as you look down in your hand, there's a book. And you recognize this book. It's the same book that sits in front of you in the material plane. And he appeals to this unknown council in the dark. Please, don't you see that if we use this alongside our already limitless power, we could expand, we could find a new world to live. We wouldn't have to. And you are silenced. This piercing sound enters your head, this piercing, screeching sound that just interrupts every thought that you're having in that moment. And it ends as you look back up and you see the one in the center. There are 5. The one in the center of the 5 stands up and points slowly over your shoulder. And you look, and there are 2 stones mounted in the ground. You've seen these stones before, or stones like it. You know this to be druidite. And they start to glow and crackle. And this beam of energy unites in the middle of the 2 crests of these stones, which you have seen before. Actually, no, you have not. You were unconscious. You haven't seen this before. And you feel dread inside you, as then you feel physically 2 other beings on either side of you grab under your armpits and your arms and start dragging you back as you say, no, brothers, please, you must heed what I'm saying. You have to, I'm doing what's better for, no, please, no. And you are thrown backwards as you turn and you see the beam crackling between you and between the stones, and you enter it. And you are spat out into the astral sea, floating backwards. You see the crackling beam just there starting to close, and in a moment of panic, you frisbee the book as it starts to close, as it crackles, showing different places as it closes. It makes it through. You don't know where it's gone. As you float backwards, powerless, you feel what seems to be almost a tear, a sadness, grip where you think your heart is in this body. Remorse They didn't understand. As you float, punished by your own kind. You close your eyes and focus your consciousness, trying to feel where this book went. Transposing your consciousness in through the book, as you've done a couple of times before. A portal opens. The book. It's ground. Stone. Cavern? Maybe. But where? As you start to emit your senses around you, you do recognize this chamber. This is where you fought the twins. The two druidite crystals stand above you in their pedestals as one gentleman dressed in heavy plate walks up and looks down at it. Picks it up, holds it to his face. This close, you can sort of pick up features on the face of this person. He looks like a much younger Rask. As he says, and looks over his shoulder. What do you think this is? And out of the shadows walks a younger with more black in his beard, pulling back the hood. I don't know, but maybe it could be useful for us, yes. We should take it back to the Institute. Study it. See what it wants. And that's where it ends. But you know that was Grigor. As consciousness comes back to you, your eyes roll back, the mist seeping out of the corners of your eyes, and tears that you felt on the drifting being cascade down the sides of your cheek. But if you could see them, they are white, milky, and smoky. Crying tears of the astral sea. As you come back to consciousness and look down just to see the tentacles pulling back into the pages.
And she's going to shut the book. Put up the quill and think for a moment, staring at the belt and starting to fasten it around it again to keep it shut, but I think leaves it behind and kind of hugs the book a little closer to her chest before putting it in its holster and heads back. downstairs. First, she'll do a little check-in at the mirror to make sure she's not like, has a cry face or like whatever. But I think she's very shaken by all of these events, but is very much trying to like, be like, well, something to process later. Like,
Yeah. So as you hold the book almost in like an embrace, it feels warm. Not in an alarming way, in a comforting way. Almost like it's trying to hug you back.
really done a 180 on this creepy book, y'all. Like, this poor thing. Yeah. I think she lingers in that for a little bit before, heading downstairs to meet the rest of them, but doing her best to look as though nothing is out of sorts.
Absolutely. Readying yourself for the public eye. You still yourself, as you have done many times before, after being the victim of bullying within the school. But this feels different. This feels like you're not a victim. This feels like you're helping the victim. You still yourself and head downstairs to your friends. As they come downstairs, you guys have been eating fish and horseradish. Is there anything you guys would like to have been discussing in this time?
Did Kaya get back from dropping food off at Lost's room?
Yeah. Yeah, I came back just before the end of last time.
So this has been a rather eventful day thus far. You all said you had dreams. Weird dreams.
Well, I had a dream. It was weird. It was just more of a memory than really anything. Just trying to cope with things that happened back when I was younger. What about you? Have you been dreaming?
I mean, nothing in particular that is alarming.
I would say that Rhapsody, you were so in and out of like heavy unconsciousness rather than sleep. This is your body like desperately trying to recover from the trauma that it faced downstairs in the catacombs. That you don't recall having any dreams whatsoever. Whether that's from memory or just your body wasn't even able to do so at that time.
Though I might have been a bit out of it, to be fair.
You were pretty out of it. I mean, you barely ate. But I kept bringing you food, and every once in a while you might wake up enough for me to feed you something, but I had to keep you like strong enough to fight off your to recover.
Well, thank you, Kaya.
I feel like Rose probably could have done a little bit better, but I think what you just really needed was just rest.
Oh, yes. Well, sometimes your brother and a little rest is all you need. Hiya.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of try to talk quietly so that other ears aren't really listening. Our party can hear what I'm saying, but not outside of our party.
Noted.
I know that you disagreed with me sharing some information. But I want you to know that it was more important, I think, in that moment to create strong allies than to protect an ego of a man.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. For me, it was more about my word than anything. I understand that it was necessary, but I felt like I was betraying
I understand.
my word that I gave to the high priestess, and so that's all for me. I agree that it was necessary. I just wish we didn't have to do it.
We did agree to do it in exchange for the amulets, though, so we did give our word that we would give that payment.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't remember that, and so I wish it was. That's really hard for me to cope with. That I couldn't go. I would break a promise one way or the other. So I guess this was the way to break it, because this way it's a better outcome in the end.
Right. And
Or at least we hope. Yeah.
I don't think that it was an easy decision. But I do feel right that it was the right one.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you for coming to me now and at least talking about it. But I agree, it was necessary, and it was the right thing to do.
also, let's not try to anger very powerful wizards. That could be a very difficult thing for us in the future.
Well, it's like I explained to him. I wasn't trying to, upset him. I was just trying to tell him to pause.
I know.
And he took it as aggression. And, maybe it was a little aggressive looking back at the situation. But, yeah, I'm working on that.
Not everybody can see that in your heart you have such a purity to protect those around you and to keep your word and be strong and noble. Not everyone can see straight through to that. So maybe the aggression came from a place of, I know that it came from a pure heart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm pure, but it wasn't meant with any ill intent, for sure.
I know. I just figured I'd say something about it before maybe it comes up again.
Well, I'm working on lots of things. Well, since we've been together, I've tried not to overshare. I'm learning not to overshare as much with everyone. And I've got to work on checking my aggression. And that goes with like when we're in fighting too. I seem to like overextend myself sometimes and get out there and then I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not helping anyone when I'm unconscious. I got to learn to like save something in the reserve tank.
Or work together with everyone else.
Yeah.
And right at that minute, Adeline enters the Great Hall.
Hello.
Still dining. We're eating so much fish at this point. It's very good though.
It's delicious.
So, what's the plan for the rest of the day? Do you have one?
Well, at some point, we'll have to get Lily's shoes.
Oh, yes! Yes, and she sneaks like a sneaky peek under the table to see if she's still got her, like, out.
Yes.
Good, 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 yes. Did he say they were going to be ready today?
I don't remember.
Yes, it was later on today.
It was the next day.
It's tomorrow. We have to wait till
It's-
tomorrow.
I think it's actually, it's done right now.
I
Fuck
think we
it,
can
it's done
pick 'em-
now.
Have we
Yeah,
already
we-
done a day? I don't know.
No, we-
Deliverable, right?
We gotta pick them up tomorrow on our way out to fight the hag.
Oh, we're doing that?
Thought we were.
I believe so, yes. Didn't Maggie
did.
say that tomorrow was the day?
Yes. And
That leaves us tonight to prepare. I don't really know how to, though. I don't know that I've counted this much research on hags, other than what I did before we faced the curse.
Would I- go ahead.
No, have any of you?
What?
Would we have any knowledge of that from studying in the temple?
Of what?
Like fey creatures like the hag or things that are threatening?
I would say less so. You can give me a history or nature. Either one. They'll give you different answers.
We were gonna do a séance. Sorry, I just remembered.
That was Diane. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys!
That was Diane, not Lily.
That was totally Lily. I'm pretty sure it's Lily.
That's Lily in her mind.
That's the most emoting she's
Oh, that's so
done.
sad.
Oh no!
It was a
Ugh.
10.
She does think she emotes. Anyways,
Oh god, the thought of this like bright little bubbling girl in that. Ugh.
you did this.
Ugh.
You did this, Jake.
I'm a girl dad, guys. A 10 for history or nature?
History.
History. Yeah, I mean, you know that hags are fey in origin, although they do like to frequent the material plane in order to enact whatever it is their goal is. You know, of like there are a few stories about like taking children and things, whether it just for their spell casting. I would say with a 10, you know that they do a lot of kind of fringe magic, fey in nature, that require a lot of hard to come by components, let's say, and so crossing over to the material plane they find is the easiest way to do so, using their trickery. That was
I
pretty
just-
generous, 10.
Thank you. I was like, wow. I will just make sure that everyone else knows that.
Right.
Well, how do we fight her?
That's not really something I've learned.
just recapping, you do know you asked Magnus this when he was down, and he did say that he was able to like basically kill them like any other being. Basically they had taken the Ulfhedin and Magnus and had launched kind of a surprise attack on previous hags that have been found in the area. And so that, mixed with their strength and might and weapon prowess, they were able to get rid of the problem.
Well, it sounds like we'd be going in with somewhat of an expert. Although they did say that this didn't seem like a normal hag. Or a hag at all. I can't help but feel like there's something more to that.
Yeah.
Especially with all of this convergence that we've been speaking about.
If this is one of the sites where the flames have crossed over into, I wonder if there are any signs, any indicators, anything left over besides the beings that have crossed over. I'm eager to explore the area. Discover
Yes.
if there are any markers that we could look for elsewhere. But regarding the hag, yes, I suppose it's just yet to be discovered. We just have to safeguard ourselves best we can against trickery or deception. Go on. This will be terribly exciting, though. I don't think I've ever met a hag, or not a formal one. They're, I've had school teachers I've definitely called a hag behind the back, but that's different. That's not like an actual fey creature that's just like, rude. In hindsight, rude, perhaps.
Hindsight's 2020, y'all.
I guess we spend some time today gathering supplies to try to be as prepared as possible.
I guess we just do what we normally do.
All right.
What's that?
I'm down.
Well, my ghosts help. Your book helps. Roz moves really quickly and has a dagger that almost never hits.
But it always comes back.
It does.
Oh. Yes, it does.
Kaya, has weapons and fast and breath things and wings.
Halitosis.
Hey,
Lost
wait!
Yeah, and-
blinks around with weapons, and my sister makes sure that we don't die.
You've done that too.
Not as good as her.
No, but you did. She's teaching you, huh?
She has. But I can't do it as good as her still, and not as often either. You shouldn't rely on me to save you.
Okay. I'll remember that. So if I'm gonna go unconscious, I'll not be next to you. I'll be next to her.
It's in this lull that one of the guards approaches that wasn't previously in the Great Hall, but he enters from the living quarters direction, comes in and says, "Oh, I am I am glad to see you here. The chieftain has passed on a message.
I know.
I was like,
I know.
he's dead.
I heard passed on, and I was like, "What the hell is happening here?"
No, you misunderstood. You a message. He is fine. He is fine.
Is that the message?
No, he didn't let me write it down, and now I am forgetting things. I carry this, and I push it into living things. I don't do this messaging.
You're not a messenger.
Yes. No. Well, no,
Right.
no, I am not. Yeah, yes, no, I am not.
Well, it must have been of utmost importance if they picked you of all people to deliver this.
Honestly,
message.
I was the closest guard.
Right.
Well, what do you remember of it?
Well, he wants you to know that he is feeling better by the hour, and so wants you to take tonight to rest, and then gather whatever supplies you need in the morning, and he will meet you at the edge of the first gate.
That was a lot of detail that you recalled. Good job.
I'm sure it was longer.
That's enough, though.
But thank you.
Yes. Welcome.
Do we recognize him? Like, is he one of the ones that we saved?
No, he's not one of the Ulfadin.
Thank you.
What of your brothers? Are they recovering well? Not actual brothers.
The
Ulfharin.
I am not privy to their condition. Their identities are kept secret in order to allow them to do the work they do.
They have no families.
I wouldn't know.
All right.
They are very dedicated servants of Ulfgate and Fenris.
Thank you for your message.
I will now leave. And he turns and leaves through the door that he came through. Is there anything else that you would like to do with your evening?
Just get ready for a séance with everyone involved. Candles, incense, things. We'll take
Oh, that's
it.
right. You guys were collecting all of the items and things.
Do it in the
that was
garden.
the aim. Great.
I thought we were going to do
no.
it inside.
Oh, that's right, in the bedroom.
We talked about the garden, though.
Yep,
We
yep,
did.
yep, yep.
Yes.
In our room.
Great. So yeah, let's say over the next few hours, the girls and the guys, if you want to assist, go and grab all of the necessary items and things that you need for the séance, and convene in Rose and Lily's room, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. Are you bringing Lost?
Yeah, at
Oh,
some
yes.
point, we would go to Lost.
We would go get him.
Yeah. Sort of get him up, and I would say by now you're feeling a little sore, but thinking much clearer again.
Okay.
The drunkenness has completely subsided.
Got it. So I'm just feeling the after effects. Yeah.
Yes. Little sore, little tender, but okay.
Got it. Little tender and bubble guts. Got it.
Yes, there you go. So you guys head into Rose and Lily's boudoir to set up the ritual. Lily, what does this look like?
There are candles set up everywhere. And there's a circle in salt that she has everyone step inside of, and then she'll like finish the circle. The spirit board is in the center, and we can all sit down, and you hear like some of her bones crunch a little bit as she bends her knees and ankles.
That lack of cartilage.
Mm-hmm.
Just bone on bone.
Love it.
Great. Do you guys all take a seat around the circle? Okay. And what is your intention with this séance?
Did we want to try and talk to your mom, Kaya? You can say no.
I
She
don't
might
want to.
not be on that side, but
I don't want to know.
of course. Does anybody have any specific questions?
Perhaps you can call upon that mentor so that was killed by the dragon creature.
Raw.
Can you call upon that?
I only met him that one day. He wasn't my mentor. He was Fizzlewick's mentor.
Ah,
I know him quite well.
And I only met him, like, literally for about 30 seconds before he was killed. But Fizzlewick talked a lot about him.
He was a family friend of the Beaumonts. I know him quite well.
Roz? Did you want to reach out to your mother?
Potentially. Is there any ill effects that could take place if we call out to the spirits? Not, well, I guess I wouldn't want her to be harmed, I should say.
She wouldn't be harmed if she chose not to come. That could happen. But as far as I know, they are not harmed. I've never asked, though. When I've talked to a spirit, we could ask one if it hurts.
I guess we could see if she is out there. There's just so many things. If she does come, then I guess my father would be right in the fact that she'd passed away, and if she doesn't, she could still be dead, or she could be out there somewhere. But I'd rather have some answers rather than no answers.
So
Are we able to? I was only going to ask if we're able to summon more than one.
I don't know. We can try.
If it's only one, I think it... And do forgive me, Roz, but I think it would be more beneficial to summon this previous worker from the Institute, this teacher. He may be able to give us information that we need. in order to maybe even help us tomorrow.
I can't do this every day.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe today we reach out to the professor.
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
What would we ask?
I
Said
mean,
like we don't know.
Hmm?
We don't know what we don't know. There's so much.
right.
And DM, we would know that like these rooms are private, right? Like no one's listening.
Oh, well, yeah, they're stone-walled rooms.
But if they scry, they scry.
I mean,
I forgot.
Potentially. Oop. Potentially about the item that Rose possesses would be one.
Yes. He would probably know the most about that.
True. And while the setup is going on for the séance and they're kind of discussing these things, Adeline's going to open her book and start casting Detect Magic just to make sure that there's nothing kind of other going on other than the magic that we're setting up to happen. The intended magic.
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of experience in this realm, I would say. But you trust in Lily's abilities. I think you need to go on instinct on this one.
Do you need help in anything, Lily?
Nope. I can finish the setup as soon as everyone's ready to begin.
But I am ready.
I'm ready. It sounds like fun.
Just so like we have a question that we're asking.
I want it to be like
Usually want to
about
stay
the-
precise when it comes to spirits.
about the dragon.
We're talking about. We want to
Jar.
ask about the jug. Okay.
But I
Didn't
don't
we
want to
name
like
it?
say it.
Didn't we give the jug a name?
We're
Did
not
we?
going back there.
Called it something.
Yeah.
We like gave it a proper name.
That sounds like us.
Yeah. He wouldn't know what we meant if we called it by that, though, to be fair.
You'd be like, what?
I will be honest, I did not make that note, but I do remember you naming it.
Jiraard. There we go.
Jiraard, yes.
Or wrong. Hey, what's that jug that we named after you?
Drink it. Drink it. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, Lily's gonna put her hands on the planchette in the center of the board, and she's gonna motion for everyone to like put their fingertips on the planchette. And I'm just gonna be like, do we know the name of this dude? I don't remember.
It was Jiraard.
It was okay. Well, there's so many
Right.
Jiraard jokes. I can't.
Yeah.
It's like it's lost meaning to me.
Yeah.
Jiraard.
So she closes her eyes and she's just gonna say, "We're reaching out to the spirit world, hoping to speak with Jiraard. If you're here, can you come forward? And I'll wait, I guess. While everyone else probably stares at me awkwardly.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to have our eyes closed.
I am.
Oh, I had just assumed everyone was staring at me awkwardly.
I'm sat next to Lily, and my finger reaches over to touch hers on the planchette, and I cast guidance.
Beautiful. That's the sound
Someone's
of the spirit
here.
coming in.
They're speaking! They're speaking
Canon.
to us!
It's canon.
There are no rolls. It just is an
Yep.
hour-long ritual.
And as you are all sitting around in this ritual of Lily's, which you've shrugged off her ability to talk to spirits and things so many times before, and so this is just the group showing support, sitting around with a little curiosity as to whether it's real. You're all sat there, leaning over with your fingertips on this planchette. Nothing's happening. And you're all just waiting. And just when doubt starts to kick in, the room goes dark.
Eyes of the grave.
Around the outsides of the candles, it's almost pitch. You can just about make out the outlines of some of the objects in the room, even those with dark vision. Eyes of the grave picks up nothing. With the darkness falling around the outside, the candles pick up in their flame. They grow and grow into almost fires around, illuminating not the outside, but just the inside, casting your shadows into the center of this circle. And out of that circle, as your hands tremble on the planchette, as it starts to shake and vibrate, and it moves to the word yes. A being stands before you, floats before you, transparent, an apparition of an older man in a long leather coat with a large, wide-brimmed wizard's hat, also made of leather, with multiple patches in it. Patches which, Adeline, you recognize. This is the spirit of Jiraard. And he lifts his head and regards the group as you sit in front of him, eyes wide. What would you ask of him?
Hello. We have some questions about a red jug that has like a dragon thing inside.
I see. Direct, I like it.
Oh, I wasn't sure how long we had.
I don't feel like we have a very long time. I'm not sure who you are, but I felt the presence of someone who I care for deeply. And his gaze scans across and lands on Adeline. Dear girl, how you've grown.
So good to see you. I'm sorry it's like this.
If only Gahlia could see you now. I'm sorry. What do you require of me?
Well, it's the jug that my friend mentioned.
That's right. I'm sorry. I was.
But we're curious too about the manner of your passing.
You were curious about the jug, the red liquid.
Yes.
Rose, you want to show it to him?
Am I allowed to take my hands off the planchette?
That's up to Lily.
Oh,
Does that break the circle?
if you can try and keep one on there, I don't know.
I will keep one hand on and reach into the bag of holding.
I'll use one of my hands to like try and like hold up like the flap and like make it easier.
I'll use my tail to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, amazing. This is getting awesome. I'll hold up the jar.
Very confused look across Jiraard's face.
Jiraard, before we, I just want you to know that Fizzlewick is with Gisela. They're taking care of each other.
I know.
Oh, I guess, yeah, you probably would. I'm kind of new to this spirit thing.
Myself and her mother watch over her.
I knew
All
that.
right.
We saw you before.
Me?
Well, definitely your wife. Or her mother.
That makes more sense. So you pull out the jug and show him?
Mm-hmm.
He looks at it and ponders, strokes his beard in a very what's the word? It strikes a chord of memory with you, Adeline, like watching him, as you've seen this many times before. Old habits die hard, as he regards this this flask, and he says, "This is magically created. This should not have its own consciousness. You see, and he goes to put his arm around Adeline and bring you in, but it passes through you, and you do feel a slight chill down your back as it happens. I'm sorry, my
Don't
dear.
lean in anyway, kind of like, no, it's
You see these scales in here.
Hmm.
Where have you seen these before? In your studies, think.
Can I make a history check? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm close enough, I'll give you guidance. I don't know if I'm allowed to touch you or if you're close. I mean, we're all around the same circle.
I guess you can move your pinky across and touch up.
Doing it.
Okay.
Done. Guidance. Add a d4.
15.
15. Hey, that's good enough. You're studious. Of course. How obvious. Why hadn't you thought of this before? These look like red dragon scales. This has come from a dragon.
So the purpose of this mixture then, is it to imbue the powers of a red dragon? Or contain it? Or what?
This is a similar experiment to what happened with the creation of owlbears and mimics and the such. Magical experimentation. Sort of bastardization that I was trying to steer the school away from. This is outlawed, this kind of experimentation. It must be happening somewhere in secret.
Who could have created such a...
I don't want to interrupt, but the bottle has the emblem of the Institute on it.
Well, that does not surprise me one bit.
Sir, what was the name of the man who turned dragon-like and killed you?
That seemed like someone that I knew from a long time ago. A former student. Although rough around the edges, I tried to guide him, but he forged his own path. That was Thomas. Unfortunately, he found himself among one of the more dangerous factions within the school.
There is danger. I didn't know until I had it. Has it always been this way? Who's making these illegal things? Who's causing this danger? Who's the threat?
The controlling factions keep themselves secret as to not be found. I could not tell you who. But I have a feeling that the Archmage assistant, Grigor, has something to do with it. Maybe the Archmage himself, but he's so far above everyone at this point that it would just be conjecture.
Did you know one of the previous headmasters of the school? I don't remember his name.
We don't have his name, but he was the one before Cindalore, right? I don't think we have his name yet.
The one that was there before the Cindalore, I think is what the name was.
Before Cindalore. Well, of course. I was at the school for most of my life. Why do you need such information?
Do you remember a little girl named Grace?
Grace. How do you know Grace?
Why can't you answer her questions?
These are people that I haven't spoken with in a very long time.
You probably haven't spoken to her because she died, because that was me. I'm Grace.
No, this is him. This doesn't make sense. How did you be here?
I was brought back, but that's why I'm able to talk to spirits, because I was dead myself once, so.
Grace. Last time I saw you, you were 6 years old. If it is you,
So, what was the name of the headmaster?
She deserves this information. Please share.
We've already spoken about him.
Who?
It's Silas Lithbrooke.
The Archmage.
The High Mage himself. After you were taken, he shut himself away.
Taken?
Taken from us. I don't know the situation around your passing.
Who took her?
I don't know. I said taken away from us, as in passing on, not like passing on a message, but passing on.
Right.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. And as he apologizes, you see the edges of his ethereal being start to fleck and flicker into almost dust as you watch the outline of him start to disappear.
I'm sorry. And thank you for speaking with us.
And he reaches out his hand as it starts to fade away, and he just brushes his thumb down your cheek, Lily. Says, "You poor thing." And he disappears. The candles die back down, and the outside of the room alights once more. And that's where we're going to take our 10-minute break.
Ooh.
Cool.
Woo, you squeezed that out a little early. Well done. Great. We have a fucking giveaway active, guys.
US
Oh,
only.
holy moly. Wait, I have not activated it yet, so...
No.
Don't do it.
I'm just saying it's ready. We're gonna open it up as we go into break. So just let me know when it's ready.
And while she's doing that, remember it's US only.
US only,
And
guys.
subscriber only.
And this one
yeah.
is, this one's subscriber only.
So you gotta have that Manaz die next to your name. And as soon as we give the okay, you guys can enter.
It is
Woo.
good to go. Exclamation giveaway.
Exclamation point giveaway in the chat. Opalite dice, guys. Holy shit, what a prize. Oh man, this got heavy. Like, I didn't expect it to go this way. So yes, I do think everyone's subscribed at this point. Everyone jump in to that giveaway that can. Remember, you do have to be in it to win it when we call you. we will call you at a random point during the game. And when we do, you got to answer or we move on to the next person. So stick around, guys. We will pick up after this short 10-minute interlude. Thanks so much, guys. We'll be right back. friends. Welcome back to the unexpected backstory dump that is Fables of Gahlia, the correct way to start your weekend. We are running a giveaway, guys. If you are new here and happen to have one of those subscriber dice logos next to your name, you can jump in with exclamation point giveaway to win a set of opalite dice from Norse Foundry, and they are friggin' beautiful. So yeah, but you gotta be in the US and you gotta be here when we call it, because I'm not calling it now because I'm a bastard. But yes, so you gotta claim it when we call it. But yes, so we return to the séance room as the light cascades away, and the room grows still, having had the name of Grace's father uttered from the spirit of Jiraard. What would you like to do?
How was everyone's first time?
Are you okay?
Lily,
What?
you just learn the name of your father.
I know.
You've literally
you-
seen him before.
He was that guy who like hurt my brains super bad that one time.
Right.
Well, he could your dad, Lily.
He definitely looked at Lily that day.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information, so not yet, at least.
I feel our road may lead us back there with the information that he shared about both Silas and Grigor. I feel our work isn't done with the two of them.
I'm just taking a look at my sister. I have her hand in my hand. Am I feeling like are her hands clammy again? Like, which is such a weird thing. Like, do I notice anything? Like, is she taking a deep breath? Like, I'm looking for stuff now because we've been seeing this pattern.
Lily, does she see anything? Does she feel anything?
I would imagine definitely clammy. Although very subtle, probably just like a worried and confused look on her face. Even though it's so subtle, like you would be the one to know the changes, the very, very minute changes.
Okay.
You all believe me now that I can see spirits.
I always believed you.
Yes, there was never doubt in my regards.
I always thought it was freaky. I still think it's freaky. I mean, we all saw it. But you see that kind of thing all the time?
Yes.
My opinion doesn't count. I've had a lot to drink.
Your opinion still counts.
Does your opinion change when you drink?
Well, when I drink, yeah, I see things, and sometimes I don't see things. It's just a drink.
Well,
So,
this wasn't because you were drunk.
I mean, you saw what we saw.
It's good to see him. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to feel so comforted by the sight of him. Thank you.
Spirits are very comforting. Some of the best conversations I've ever had have been with those passed on.
worked out.
Beautiful. Well, with each of you, I think, understanding Lily a little bit more now. What would you guys like to do with the rest of your evening? If anything kind of brief, or are you guys just kind of hanging out before?
Did we say what time we started the séance? I
Uh,
know it was
Probably
evening,
right
but
when the sun went down.
Yeah, it would be getting on late. Like I would say like 8 p.m. is about when the sun sets, and so like an hour or so after that, you're getting towards a time that would be wise to take a long rest.
Boss, do you need help getting back to your room?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, we're done talking with dead people. I think I'm gonna take a little bit more rest before. What time are we supposed to be called upon in the morning?
The messenger said in the morning.
Outside the first gate, so we have a bit of a walk.
I have to get my boots.
yeah, I was going to say we should probably wake up a bit early so we can meet with Midas before we meet with everyone else. I don't think mixed companies are the best for.
I'll be good to go in 4 hours.
As will I.
From now.
From the time we sleep.
Yeah, I'll probably. I mean, it's not really a matter of need. It's more of like I've got like this whole routine, and it takes me a while to fall to sleep sometimes. So I really need to have some like warm milk, and it's this whole thing. So, do you just want to call it 7 a.m.?
Is okay. Is that for breakfast? Or when we
When we
are leaving?
leave.
Okay. So we need to meet for breakfast at 6.
I have no reason to say yes or no to this.
We can always, grab something and eat while we go.
Right, well, it's important to eat, especially on a day where we're going to fight something we don't. What it did to Ulfadine and Magnus. So I don't want to be a wolf.
Yes, I'll leave you all to deliberate on these important matters, and I'm heading back to my room. And Losh just rolls his eyes and starts walking back to the room.
You
Night.
finally.
How about we just convene downstairs in the Great Hall just before dawn?
That
Right.
sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's all right, Adeline. We'll come and wake you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just make it.
Oh, right, we're in your room. Kaya, we should probably leave and leave the girls to themselves. Have a good night, dears, and he'll mosey out.
Night.
Adeline will head out to her room as well. Kind of awkward though, like there's a bit of like oh right, I should go see now. It's great. Cool. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Excellent.
Is it just Kaya?
Oh yeah. Bye. I thought I was walking out with you, Roz.
Oh,
I did too. I assumed that.
Yeah.
I didn't know either way.
Great.
Roz, I was thinking that when we get back to the room, I was thinking that I'm gonna press my my dress so that it is nice and crisp for tomorrow.
Have you ever? Is this your first time, Kaya?
No, I mean, we used to keep our,
I guess our monastic robes. Yes.
yeah.
It's not the same though. This is a special occasion.
Yep. I want to look my best for the battle.
Oh, you always look your best, Kaya.
Not like you though.
Oh, thank you. But this is a compliment for you, not me.
Right, but I mean, your silks and scarves and all that you wear, it's inspiring, and that's why I got my dress. I wanted to be a little bit more like you.
Well, I don't know what to say for once. Thank you, Kai.
Yeah. All right.
And he'll just like grab him and take him and go back to the room to show him how like this is how you probably press a dress.
Going over that vital information before heading to bed. Everyone else is doing the same.
Well,
heading
when
to
everyone
rest.
would have left our room before starting my nightly ritual, I would just look at my sister and just say, Grace Lithbrooke.
AKA Lily Blackwood.
Yeah. Sounds weird.
You know, Lily, at the end of all of this, you may have two lives converging.
Seems very on brand. Some might even say fates converging.
I would say that. You know,
To me, some is you.
you might not have to choose. There may be something, maybe a third line that comes out of this for you.
As long as you're there.
Of course. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
So making that promise to one another before heading to sleep. You all find the rest that you individually do from your many different ways. And as you all drift into sleep, lost.
Okay. I was like, gosh, don't say my name. Don't say my name.
Your mind goes to a place that you recognize as the place that you landed through that rift that was torn. And as it came into focus and the colors were blinding and the smells and the tastes in the air, the flowers around you, everything that you were experiencing all at once washing over you. You look up and you see in front of you children. They're all linking hands and dancing rhythmically in a circle, singing. You walk towards them, and the singing gets louder. And it's almost muffled as you walk up, and as they look and see you, they unlink arms and join around you and start singing in a circle around you as you're taking on all of these colors and fragrances, and you can almost smell the flowers that are so nearby, and you're taking in everything. And these girls that are dressed in gray and black dance around you, and they look up at you, and they sing in discordant unison. The child of death, the child of death. This is not a memory, but those words strike you and take you back to that place that you've tried to drink your way out of so many times before, so many times recently. The child of death, the child of death. And you stop. You want to take in the beauty, but this is interrupting. And so you try to plug your ears and you close your eyes, and as you open them, all of the children have the copper skull as they are dancing around you. The child of death. And you close your eyes again, and you try to push the whole thing out. I can wake up. I'm not even sleeping. I'm just in a trance. And you open your eyes again, and there is the face of a white bone skull with a veil pressed over it, cascading inside the sockets and across the exposed teeth. As it cocks its head and says, "Not you." And you wake up.
I probably am like in a sweat in a pool of sweat on my bed, and I sit up and I'm a little shook. I don't understand the image. For a second there, thought I was having nightmares from drinking too much.
Moving on from there. Adelaide.
Beans.
Speaking about home and memories and seeing the visage of Jiraard has brought back so many memories to you. And as you fall to sleep, another dream comes to you. And as you open your eyes and see that, I'm dreaming again, you expect to see something to do with your book, but you don't. Your eyes open and you are in a lush, grassy field. You're running, not fearfully. You look ahead and you see little Lucian in front of you, who is giggling wildly and looking over his shoulder to see where you are, and then darting off to one side, and then seeing that you're following, and he looks over his shoulders and then darts off to the other way. And so you're just two kids chasing each other in the field, looking after your little brother. And as you catch up to him, you manage to reach out and touch your hand on his shoulders. And as he turns around, the room goes black. And Lucian looks up at you. And then looks down, sad. Looks back up and says, Addy, you weren't there.
Lulu, I'm always here. Where? What's happened?
Addy, you left me. And then you look to the right of him, and you see your father. You see Marcel standing there, with his head in his hands, looking down on you, shaking his head. And he goes to speak to you, and he stops himself, and he just turns his back on you.
Father?
You look across to the left of Lucian, and you see Isidore, your mother, who has been crying, and you can see makeup staining her cheeks, red eyes, her elven ears poking through her hair. Adeline, I didn't think that you would be the one to disappoint me so.
What's happened, Mama? I'll fix it. Whatever it is, just tell me. I can fix it. I can fix anything. Just tell me what's wrong, Mama.
And it's as if your words kind of fall on deaf ears, like they're not hearing what you're saying, and you get louder and louder, trying to force your words onto them. And then you look back to Lucian, your little brother, and he's holding his stomach, and he looks up at you and says, Addy, I don't feel so good.
What's wrong? I can fix it. Is it your tummy?
And his head starts to wrench backwards, opening up on 180 degrees as tentacles spill out of his throat, latching onto his body and trying to pull its way out. You start panicking. You look to your father to help, and you see your father's body with a copper skull head. You look to your mother, and you see a veiled, bone-white skull with the veil falling into the eye sockets and against the exposed teeth. Yes, you. And you wake up.
Adeline's sick over the side of her bed immediately.
Who's this veiled bitch? I don't know who Jay's looking at. I'm scared.
Yeah. It's like the teacher.
He's narrowing in on his next victim.
I don't know what.
What's exhaustion? Let's just do exhaustion points.
I know, right? Like, our group's gonna stop sleeping.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Rose. as sleep takes you. You see home. You see the temple. You're walking through the outer gardens by yourself. And you start to regard the tombstones and headstones and things that are all within your garden, and you pass two headstones that are very close together, and you recognize them as you do every time you walk this way. You go over and you see your mother and your father's names on these tombstones. And as you ritually do, you pull the rose and place it on each of their grave sites. You say a little prayer to Eastus. And you turn around. As you turn around, you're almost knocked back by your aunts staring at you.
What's wrong?
This is all your fault.
What do you mean?
And Rhoda says, come on. You know, you did all of this. All of this is your fault. And you look back and you see the headstones of your mother and father passed, and you look back at them. This is all your fault.
I didn't do anything.
And Reese says, but darling, look, and points over, and you see the riddled corpse of one Grace Lithbrooke on the floor as a child, limbs bent in the wrong way, with a huge open wound that has bled out just below her sternum.
She didn't deserve that. We have to stop it.
This is all your fault. Why couldn't you have just left her be?
It wasn't her fate.
You are the one who invited all of this in when you found that. You could have just buried her. Why didn't we leave her be?
There's been so much death.
We were just trying to help you. You didn't deal with grief very well the first time. We were just trying. And we did the wrong thing, but this is all your fault.
It's not the wrong thing. It's right. There's been too much death. She didn't deserve that. She's too young.
And as you gaze upon that corpse and you look back, you see Reese's face as a copper skull. And Rhoda's rushes towards you, a boned skull with a veil cascading down it.
You do not belong here.
I go where I please.
You're not wanted here.
And you wake up.
I look at Lily. Is she talking in her sleep, muttering her trances?
I would say she's in the middle of her nightly ritual of trying to reach out to spirits. Occupied currently.
I'll leave her be.
Lily.
Cool. Yeah. Let me compose myself for a second. All right, hit it where it hurts.
You sort of drift back, like thinking about, like focusing on everything that has just happened, all of the information that you've taken on that you've not been able to process yet. You take this on and you try and make sense of it, and so you just focused, not even looking for spirits. This is just a nightly ritual. This is comforting. This is safe. And as you do, you close your eyes, and the black behind your eyelids becomes a library. With a man sat at a desk, scribing away. You can hear the scratching of the quill as he rapidly writes, as you've seen him do so many times before. Or have you? You approach the desk, and the cascading, center-parted, raven black hair that has draped in front of his face as he is writing, he looks up and says, "Oh, hello there, Grace. How long have you been there?" Come. Ushers you around his desk, and in childlike glee, you run to your father's lap, and you turn around and open your arms up, and you are hoisted up onto his knee, and his arms kind of just squeeze in around you, keeping you safe. That safe feeling. As he turns you towards the papers in front of him, and he says, "I've drawn one just for you. Look." And the page that he was writing on, he slides it to the side. And drawn on there is the copper skull as it floods in with color and reaches out towards you. You turn to your father for safety, to huddle into him. You look, and there is the bone white face with the veil. "Not you." And she swipes at your eyes, and you instinctively recoil and open your eyes, and you are back in the room.
Is my sister sleeping or awake?
She's awake.
Did you have a dream?
I did.
Me too.
How did you? Oh. What did you see?
I was with my dad, I guess, in the library. He drew me something, but it was the copper skull. And then there was another veiled skull face. It said, "Not you," and then swiped at me, and I woke up.
Lily, I saw the same imagery in mine.
What did it say?
don't remember.
Insight check.
Roll for it. Deception if you're trying to.
I'm gonna lose this. I know I am.
What?
I said I'm gonna lose this. I know I am.
It's only a 12.
I rolled a 13.
Oh!
Whoa.
Yeah.
The cleric deceives.
Whoa.
Yep. Only. I rolled a 5 on my dice, so.
Yeah, she seems earnest enough.
But it is concerning that we would have the same imagery
Who
on the
was
same
it?
night.
What was it?
I saw the copper skull, and I saw the bone white
What
skull.
was it?
I don't know.
That's new. That's not anything we've even heard of.
I wonder if anyone else has experienced this, or if it's just us. How much time has gone by? Is this like early morning, we're rested, or it's like middle of the night, we're refreshed?
Best you can tell, it's been a couple of hours.
We can ask in the morning.
Yes, I would hate to disturb anyone else's sleep. We have a lot happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can do our best to rest tonight.
So we move to Kaya.
Get away with this.
Kaya, your mind slips back to the Sabulous Plains once more. And this time there's no raid. There is no danger. You're in your family home. Not under the table. You're heading out to try and find your father. As you leave and turn the corner, you see your mother. She looks sad. It's not often that you've seen her this way. Once or twice that you can remember. She's often so jovial, so full of life.
Mom, what's wrong?
And her gaze raises to see you. And her eyes grow even more sad.
What is it? What's wrong, Mom? What's bothering you?
You didn't stop it. You didn't help.
I wanted to.
But now look. And she points out towards the side. And you turn your head and you see the lifeless body of your sister.
She's not. She can't be dead. She told me to hide.
Look what you did.
I didn't mean for this to happen.
And as you stare at the body of your sister, you hear a slight gargling sound. As you turn quickly to where the sound's coming from behind you, you see your mother ahead of you, and she holds her throat as red starts to pour from between her fingers.
I rip my scarf off and I try to stop the blood.
As you go to remove her hand from the wound, it rips open and her head falls aloft, and out of the neck comes a blood-soaked skull with a white veil pressed against it.
Yes, you.
No.
And you wake up.
Ugh. Me. What does that mean? What's going on?
Rhapsody. As sleep takes you once more, more restful this night than previous, you can feel yourself slowly drifting, and it feels comforting. You haven't talked about your mother for a long time. Not since Kaya and you first got closer at the temple. And this stirs up old memories. Memories of walking through the desert, uncaring. You told a lot of people that you were going to explore, but you know deep down inside you had no intention of coming back. You walk and walk as dehydration sets in. And you keep walking, forcing yourself further and further away from any help. And exhaustion starts to take over your body as you start to near a large crevice. You know this to be Devil's Fall. As you walk further and further, you drop to your knees, crawling now, just forcing yourself further and further away from anyone who could help you. Maybe this was all that was meant for the bastard son of a love that was damned. Maybe you don't want this anymore. And at that point, you feel an embrace. And it feels so comforting, so familiar. It feels warm. You recognize the feeling of their skin on yours. And it takes you back to a place that you had long forgotten. Since your mother held you as a babe. This is her skin. You felt this warmth as you entered the second gate, and you feel it once more. And through chapped, flaking lips and skin, eyes so dry they hurt when they blink, you force them to open. You look up and you regard your mother's face. One of the most beautiful women you've ever seen. Her face glowing the outside with this golden light. As she looks down and says, "Oh, Rhapsody, I wish you had never been born." As fire erupts all around her and her eyes start to burn out of her face, and she pulls up a blindfold and ties it on her as her wings separate on either side, spiny with scantily adorned black feathers. "Now go back to where you came." And she looks and flies back towards the cavern's edge and drops over the edge into Devil's Fall. You blink and turn your head to see a white bone skull with a veil.
Yes, you.
And you wake up to that cackling laughing ricocheting in your head. All those who require sleep take 1 point of exhaustion and do not receive the benefits of a long rest. What does your character sheet say? I don't think so. If it doesn't say sleep.
I know, where does it say that?
If you have something that is different, your racial features. If you have something that says that you go into a trance or anything like that, that would not be considered sleep. Everyone else would need to sleep to... That's what I thought. There we go.
Do spell slots? No.
If you require sleep, then you do not get the
I can't
benefits
find
of
where it
long
says
rest.
that on mine, so I can't tell you the answer to that.
Morning breaks. The sun cascades in through the windows, and a lot of your eyes are very dry and very sensitive this morning. What would you all like to do?
Upon waking, Adeline is like, I think she woke from that dream and tried to go back to a simple sleep, but kind of, kept thinking over and over everything that happened. So upon, the sun rising and feeling sleepy by that, she is going to cast Sending to Lucian.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
She just wants to say, Lulu, I hope you're doing alright. I miss you terribly. Tell Mummy and Daddy I'll be home soon. Did you read that book I left you? Ta?
A few moments pass, and you get a response. You feel that tingle on the back of your neck as the words come into your mind. Oh, hello, Addie. I miss you too. I promise I've been reading my book. Mummy and Daddy say they miss you too. Can't wait to see you. Ta.
And I think feeling the comfort of just like, it's just a dream. Things were normal. All right. She'll steel herself for the day, head downstairs. But that image is still very much in the back of her mind. It takes a lot to shake it off.
I would have tried to prepare tea the way my sister taught me to have ready for her when she woke.
After coming out of that sort of state, as you regularly watch over her to make sure she's safe,
Mm-hmm.
she tosses and turns a lot. Doesn't seem to be able to get comfortable, or doesn't seem to be as peaceful as you usually see her. She's basically been awake all night.
Yeah. I feel like at the very last second, before I know, I'm like looking out the window. I see the sun rising. Do we have a window?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
we
a
have a
window.
window.
Yep.
I'll like gently nudge her. I have tea for you.
Oh.
I know you didn't get much rest.
No, it was very hard to rest. There's a lot of questions running around in my head.
Me too.
Oh, you did a lovely job. This looks wonderful.
I don't know how much tea to water. I don't know if it's too strong or too light. And I wasn't sure how long it stayed in. So
It doesn't.
Okay.
I'm sure it's fine.
I think some people are very particular though.
I'm not particular.
Adeline would be.
Probably.
It's like been steeping for like 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
You take one sip and your face just folds in on itself.
So good.
So good.
Insight check.
Lost, what about you?
Lost has skipped his calisthenics in the morning, and
Oh.
he is in full gear, ready to go, leaning on the wall outside the rooms, and decided that just being in this town for too long is upsetting his rest, and it's this place. These dreams did not happen until we were here, and I want to get the fuck out of here.
Date. I do not need to sleep.
There you go.
Long rest.
You can take a rest. And Temple Boys, what about you guys?
I need a long rest, so I don't get one. I have to sleep.
What would you guys like to do?
Hey, buddy, I have a pretty bad headache.
Yes, would you like me to make some tea or something?
You're banging on your door, and it's lost. And he's like, I'm skipping my morning alcohol, so you guys are all fucking skipping your tea and crumpets. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I'll grab my bag. I guess we'll grab something on the way out.
Yeah, yes, that sounds good.
I'll open the door and be like, I don't need any breakfast, so I'm ready.
I have to eat something, a roll, ham, something.
It seems really inconvenient to have to eat all the time.
I know. It's all right. It's all right, Lily. So, do I still have those sweet rolls, those sweet buns?
Yeah.
They're going to be stale as shit, but I'm going to take the sweet rolls out of the basket that I had and just give one to everybody, and we'll just, it's okay. Grab this for now. We can maybe get something else on the way.
I'm gonna pass through the Great Hall and look and see if there's something on the table.
Of mystical and arcane things, but I'm telling you, we need to kill this hag because my sleep has not been this restless ever.
Wait, you had bad dreams or nightmares or visions?
Every night, it seems.
What did you see?
I don't think any of it would make any sense to you, but a veiled skull.
And a copper skull?
Yes. Copper skulls.
Yes.
Little scary children with copper skulls.
I saw a copper
Or
skull
the-
and a veiled skull as well.
Laughing. Dancing.
I saw them as well.
As did I.
Yeah, me too.
Did you also have a loved one erupt into tentacles?
Yeah?
No, well, my mom's head fell off, and the skull came up from inside of her,
Different but samey.
and my sister was dead.
My father turned into the veiled skull.
My father turned into the copper skull. My mother was the veiled skull. My little brother was just like
Wait.
really fucked up.
Roz,
Copper skulls? I saw a veiled skull, of course, but no copper one.
yeah, but mine was veiled.
What's this veiled skull? What is this?
Did it
Is this new?
Then it said me, it said you. It's you or something to me.
Mine said not
yes,
you.
Yes, you. Kept
Yeah.
saying it over and over.
Mine
again.
too.
Mine too.
Mine said not you.
So yours says not. Mine said it was me. Adeline, said you, and Roz said you. What did yours say, Lost?
I don't remember. I thought it was a past lover and I blocked it out. I don't understand.
Insight check.
No, really.
Roll it.
I think that's actually lost.
I had no clue what this was. Yeah. I guess I'm the lucky one. I have no family to explode in my
I wrote
dream.
it down. You said not you.
I rolled a 22 for insight. He
He seems genuine.
You've dated a skull and a veil.
I wasn't very selective.
Wait.
It was a rough time in my life.
We all have skeletons in the closet.
Oh, there it is.
This veiled skull creature represented in each one of our stories or visions a female, right?
No, my father turned into the Veil Skull.
I thought your father was the Copper Skull. Sorry.
It was the drawing he made for me. Was the Copper Skull.
Father. Oh, yes.
It's new information
Silas?
for all of us.
This is not a coincidence.
Why is it attacking us?
I believe it's the hag. They're very powerful creatures. We all know that. But again, there is doubt that it's actually a hag.
How would the hag know of us?
I mean, we now have a connection with Magnus.
Well,
We did release the curse.
plus, yeah, when we released the curse, it wasn't you or Lost though. Y'all were doing your own thing.
No, I meant the one on Magnus.
Oh. You think she could see us through his eyes?
I think it's possible.
Someone was watching us before. Remember?
Huh?
They were watching you.
There was a scrying orb. Rose, I believe you sensed it.
I did. And they were watching you.
Perhaps that wasn't a hag,
I don't know.
but certainly not
Well-
the.
Well, the hag would never have seen you, I guess, because you weren't fighting Magnus or the other frog demon.
That's right.
What would the hag even know of the Copper Skull?
That's what I...
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not 100% convinced that this is just a hag.
What does it want with Adeline and Roz and Kaya?
As we'll find out. I don't think the answers to these lie in books. Those will just have to confront our.
So is that all that they said to you in your vision? Yes, you or not you? Was there anything more?
Oh, generally how I was a disappointment and I really let my family down. You know, that I wasn't there for them, and it was, that part I think was more difficult than the whole, like, you know, again, my little brother literally, like, exploded into tentacles. I feel like I need to touch on that just again, just to, you know, give
So
you
it fed on your insecurities and fears.
Yes, because it, you know, how does it know us so well?
I don't know.
Curious.
Well, Lost, to your point, I don't know that we can run from this.
I don't think he wants to run.
No, I mean he wants to
Take the
leave
trick
here.
to the hag's head, and let's let's take care of that option and see if that changes anything.
All right. Well, we have someone to meet.
And boots to pick up.
Boots to pick up.
I don't think anyone wants me to walk around barefoot anymore.
I like your clawy toes.
I don't mind them.
They look a lot like mine.
Sorry. Oh, that's so disturbing.
What DM you get on like social media, you just ignore.
And
Thank you,
so
Gaia.
realizing that there are errands to run and people to meet, hags to find, that is where we're going to close up tonight's show.
We didn't even get to it.
I know.
We're never gonna get to it. We're never gonna. We role play like at
But
this level.
But it's so good. So
Yeah.
I'm not mad. Exclamation point giveaway in the chat for all subscribers. I'm going to call a winner very, very shortly for the Opalite Norse Foundry dice. Thank you so much for the ridiculous amount of support, which means that I now need to run around and find more giveaways for you all, I guess.
He loves it. Don't worry about it. He loves it.
No, I love the support and I love you guys so much.
US only.
Yes, US
Subscriber only.
Yes, I'll give you another couple of seconds to enter.
Good luck.
All right, I think that's it. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's
Roll
do
it.
it. Gonna roll in 3, 2, 1.
Holy shit.
Captain
Captain
Dial-Up
Dial-Up.
Six.
Dial-up. Well, if that's the same dial-up that's in the Discord. Hey, I think this is your first stream that you watched as well. You just joined the Discord recently.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, message me, DM me, and I'll get some details from you to get you stuff set up.
Dial-Up is new to D&D too, so he's
Yeah.
a cool ass freaking D20.
Those
Hey.
are yeah.
Dial-up. Are these
Wow.
going to be your first set of dice, or do you have other dice? I'm just curious.
We're just waiting for your response.
It's how we hook you in to keep coming back.
Mhm.
Opalite dice
oh.
will do that.
Yes. And I will say I am catching up with a lot of giveaways this weekend. I've had a lot of stuff happening. It's no excuse, but I am catching everyone's giveaways up this weekend to get you all sent out.
Don't thank us. We
So
just
I have some
started
super cheapies.
the beginning of a very expensive and addictive hobby. Dice.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. All right, awesome. Who are we going to raid? We have Dork Tales. Woo,
We are gonna
is
raid
live.
Blackwater.
Blackwater. Awesome.
Blackwater, yes.
Let's go drop some love on them. Stay in for the raid because you get bonus channel points to help people flex on the next stream. We have Legends on Monday, Fables next Friday. We got Spelljammer on the way. Holy crap. So much happening. Let's drop a bomb into Blackwater. Throw some raid emojis down. Let's go. Thank you so much for starting your weekend off the right way. We will see you next time. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.